Hello everybody, it's Marcia from One Scrap at a Time, and I'm back today with another YouTube Scrapbook Process video for you. So today I am scrapping my daughter's dog Nana, and I'm using this mixed media sheet from Vicki Boutin. And this came from this pack that I'm showing you here, and this is amazing. I just love these mixed media sheets. They're gorgeous. And Vicky's done all the hard work for you, so you don't have to get messy at all. You don't have to wait for things to dry. You just can play. So this is a process video for JustNick Studios, and I am using a bunch of different cut files that I'm showing you here. I cut out a bunch of these butterflies from the Pink Paisley Color Wash collection. And then I also used the Simple Stories Vintage Bliss collection. And then the last one there was a piece of scrap paper, I think from Pink Paisley Turn the Page from Paige Evans. So I originally thought I would frame my photo with this beautiful mirrored floral cut file. And I cut it from white because I know the white just looks so beautiful against a mixed media background. But it covered up too much of that gorgeous color, so I didn't want to use it to frame my photo. So I opted instead to use a little bit of vellum to soften the edges of my photo against the background. And this still lets the color come through, but just softens the edges just a little bit. So I ripped the vellum. I kind of like the torn paper effect. I've been doing that a little bit lately. So I'm going to adhere this photo down onto this piece of vellum. I like to put some dimension behind my photos, and I really needed to use these thickers. I have way too much for thickers in my stash, and they won't fit in my box anymore. So I pulled this one. It was an old set of thickers, foam thickers, and they're kind of discolored. They're kind of an off-white, and I didn't think I'd use them anymore. But they work amazing for putting behind a photo to give it a little more stability. Okay, so you see my title there, Nana. I used the stencil alphabet from JustNick Studios to cut that from the various pattern papers, the same ones that I used to cut the butterflies. And then I cut some blooms from white cardstock, as well as some stems in a couple different sizes. So I kind of thought I needed to bring out a little bit more color from the coral pink to the yellow, just to kind of offset and anchor that photo. So I'm using these die cuts from the Kaleidoscope collection from Vicki Boutin. These are also American crafts, and I like that it adds a little bit more color there and anchors my photo. So then I'm going to go back and start gluing down some of these blooms once I get my photo adhered. So you can see my flowers and my stems are really pretty delicate. So I like to use this fine line glue bottle, and this is something I picked up from Amazon, and you can put any kind of adhesive you like into this glue bottle. My favorite adhesive is the Scotch 3M Quick Drying Glue. So it dries really fast. I have not had issues with my fine line glue bottle clogging. I know I've heard a few of my subscribers say that their bottles clog and they're not so happy about them. But I haven't had issues with mine. I make sure that I put the cap on when I'm done using it. Some people say if you leave it on its side, it doesn't clog so easily, rather than leaving it stand upright. I usually leave mine stand upright when I'm not using it. So I decided here that I would glue my mirrored florals down at the top and the bottom. Just something to frame my layout. And I didn't want to waste this cut file once I had cut it and it didn't work out for framing my photo. And it's kind of a happy mistake. I really like it at the top and the bottom of my layout. So then I'm going to try to glue down some of these stems and just alternate. I have cut these in a couple different sizes as well, so some smaller ones and some a bit larger. So I'm just going to kind of alternate where I glue these down on both sides and around, kind of like to frame my photo. Nana was a dog that my daughter got at the Humane Society. She was actually evacuated from the Carolinas when the hurricanes went through last August, September. And Nana is an older dog. We think she's about 10 or maybe even 12. And she needed a lot of work. She had an abscessed tooth, and my daughter is a veterinarian, an emergency veterinarian, and she was able to afford to give Nana the care she needed. She is just an amazing dog. She's a little spitfire. She has so much personality in that teeny tiny body. It's just amazing. We just all fell in love with her. So I glued down my Stencil Alpha title. Also, I put foam tape behind that as well to give it some dimension and have it pop. And now you see me adhering down these butterflies. So the butterflies were cut from two different pattern papers. They're very similar in color, but a little bit different. These were machine stitched together then. I wanted the layers, and I like the thread to create the bug antenna, and then also the thread trailing behind to kind of give these butterflies some movement. And I can swirl the thread to make it look like the butterflies are flying around. So you see me kind of playing around with the thread in some cases to loop it. And if you look at the close-ups at the beginning too, you see that some of the thread I glued down into loops. So I'm just gluing the butterflies down in the same colors as my background. So we have the beige and a pink and a yellow and then that coral color. So I just loved how these colors match the colors in this photo. That coral pink of Nana's tongue and the yellow and the flower in her collar and the beige for her coloring. There isn't really any pink in the photo, but because she's a girl, I thought the pink was perfect too. So I just love these colors. They kind of look like a sorbet. And it's just appropriate for her personality, I think. So as I'm adhering these butterflies down, I'm kind of fluffing up the wings. You can see me doing that. And I wanted the butterflies to appear as if they're going to take flight off the page. And I really love how this layout is coming together. So I have a few more butterflies to put on. I kind of thought I should put some of the butterflies going in different directions, but I have a hard time putting the butterflies flying upside down. So they're pretty much facing right side up. So once I have these down, I started to think about what else I could pull in here on my layout. And I found this heart from the Kaleidoscope collection as well. And I like the fact that it had this word on the heart in pink. So I thought it would go with the pink that I have here for adding some embellishment. And of course we love Nana, so the heart was appropriate. I also thought some text on the photo would be really cool, so I pulled out this really old Cosmo Cricket phrase sticker. And this sticker says, "I would pick you every time." So I really thought it was appropriate since my daughter picked up Nana from a Humane Society and just fell so much head over heels in love with her. The last thing I want to add on my layout are just some Nouveau drops. I've had these for like a year and I feel really bad. I have not used them much at all. Some of these, this is my first time using some of these colors. And now I'm kind of addicted. I just love these. I'm going to need to get them in more colors now. So I'm coming to the end of my video. I want to thank you for stopping by and I hope you would become a subscriber. Bye bye now.